Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Brian Shields. I want to get right to it, watching a tropical wave out there that could shift our weather pattern, and I want to get to some areas of rain, some spots too dry as well, plus where the next system may try to spin up. So I'm going to dive into all of that in this video. Here's the Gulf. We get back through the Caribbean, and again, a little more settled than we were the last couple days because this spin by Bermuda, that continues to pull away. So a closer look, Belize, we're mainly on the dry side, Honduras as well, Nicaragua, we need the rain. Same thing over toward Guatemala. Also watching out for some areas of ash, low air quality in some spots. Keeping an eye on this. Colombia, we've had a flare up of some rain and storms, but again, the rain chance has gone down some, even in the Eastern Caribbean, although watching a few showers in the Northeastern Caribbean. I'll keep an eye on that. Keep me posted in the comments. St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat, Anguilla, Antigua, and Barbuda, where we have been so dry as a whole. In other spots too, let me know what you got going on. Now out here, a couple tropical waves. This is the first tropical wave of the season. Again, we were talking about it last week. It's not going to develop, and there's not a lot with it, but it is kind of moving in. This will inch its way toward South America. It'll inch its way toward the Caribbean. It'll enhance the chance of rain in Guyana and Suriname. Not a big player, but this wave and then the second tropical wave back here are the first signs, real signs that we're about to crank up the season, get into the wet season, and then as we go over the next month, some of this convection will lift a little bit more to the north and kind of slide in. So that does signify that things are shifting and we're about to get into the hurricane season. The hurricane season 1 week ahead. Eastern Pacific models were hinting at a little spin up a few days ago. Not seeing any signs of that as of now. Keeping an eye on that though, of course. Now, let me get to a closer look, then a broader look, bigger look, and then I want to get into some of the aspects of the upcoming hurricane season. First, again today, scattered storms. Could see a few in Jamaica. We've been seeing that. Cuba, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic, not all of us got some rain yesterday, but where we got it, it came down in buckets. We had a ton of rain, over 100 millimeters of rain in some spots. So spotty showers. Same thing as we work our way into Thursday tomorrow. Hit or miss shower, but you see Trinidad and Tobago, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, not as wet, just passing shower. Guyana and Suriname, some of the scattered showers around, and then spotty showers through the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, just very hit or miss in the Western Caribbean. Cayman Islands got my eye on you, but again, passing shower chance as we work our way into Saturday. Still kind of the pop-up stuff. Now, Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, not a guarantee we're going to get rain, but the end of the week, the rain chance bumps up a little bit. What's going to happen is some of the moisture from Colombia and Venezuela is going to feed a bit to the north. It'll be a close call, but we do have a chance of at least some showers in the forecast looking at Friday and potentially even Saturday. Now, the bigger picture. Here's the spin we were watching near Bermuda as we went through this week. That's lifting away, so that's helping to drop the rain chance. Someone was asking on the comments why the weather was kind of moving south to north. It was this spin up here dipping down and helping to kind of draw some of that moisture across us in the Eastern Caribbean. Now, the next thing I'm watching too to the north is this, a front near Florida. That's going to drop a lot of moisture near the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida. This blob here tomorrow may develop. It has a small chance to develop into something tropically, but tomorrow and Friday could become a tropical storm or a brief tropical or a tropical depression or a brief tropical storm. We've seen that spin up near the Carolinas over the last few seasons. So if you are in the Caribbean and you hear of a named system or a tropical storm popping up, it is this. You can rest easy. It is something that is up here, but I'll monitor this either way. A rainmaker for coastal Georgia, back through South Carolina and North Carolina by the time we get into Friday. But again, a small chance that that does spin up. And Bermuda as a whole staying wet. And then eventually some of this action could even move its way up toward Eastern Canada. Not tropical in nature at that point, but Eastern Canada, that rain chance will be going up. You see on Saturday, lots of rain here, and some of that will be trying to lift up to the north. But let me draw your attention back here into the Caribbean. This is on Saturday. This is just what I was talking about, how we would see some of this moisture from Colombia and Venezuela feeding up to the north. High pressure is not dominant, so that kind of allows things to bubble up. So you can see more rain popping up up the potential of higher rain chances. Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Aruba, parts of Venezuela, and Colombia by the time we get into the weekend. So that's what I was talking about. Some of that moisture, again, starting to feed in. Short term through tomorrow night, rain totals higher here, Colombia on the edge of it in Aruba. But you see some of the purples, Cuba over toward Haiti, Dominican Republic. Again, we could get some spots over 75 millimeters or 3 inches of rain. Guyana, Suriname, same thing. Not as much in Trinidad as we go throughout the next 2 days. Mexico, Belize, very hit or miss. Nicaragua, we may get a shower storm over really the higher terrain, and then that should do it. Costa Rica, half and half. Could see some higher totals, especially in our southern and coastal sections on the Pacific side. Could see a better chance of getting some storms. So let's talk about the hurricane season. An average hurricane season, 14 named storms, 7 become hurricanes, 3 major hurricanes. Those are the, all hurricanes can be destructive, but those are the incredibly powerful ones. Now, with that said, an average season, say we had an average season, none of this tells us where a storm is going to end up. I've been seeing a lot of the forecasts talking about below average seasons. Others talk about above average seasons. There's science behind it. It's good to have those seasonal forecasts, but there is no way to tell yet where a storm's going to go. Obviously, if there's more storms, generally you have a higher chance of getting one. But we've seen seasons where there's been a bazillion storms out there and nothing has hit land. On the flip side, we've only had a few seasons, a couple seasons where there's only been a few storms and then one hits land, and then that's a busy season to you. So again, we don't know where I don't know where storm's going to go until I get a good handle on the pattern and they develop. And my promise to you is that I'll be tracking it for you best I can, start to finish, watching these things across the Caribbean, shifting into the Gulf, keeping an eye on the United States as these things kind of work around. Sometimes they end up in Canada, watching you as well, keeping an eye on Bermuda. So I will do my best throughout the season. Now, May is typically quiet. Again, the season actually starts June 1st, and usually you get 1, maybe 2 named systems in June, but July things ramp up, and then the busiest time of the year is August, September, and October, where we get 85% of all named systems just in those 3 months. First name on the list is Arlene. There was already a system, a subtropical storm that formed in January, but they decided they didn't classify it at the time, so it didn't get a name. But there's already been a system out there, but that was in January. Actually, some of that action rolled into Eastern Canada. So the next name on the list is the first name, and that is Arlene. Then Brett, Cindy, Don, Emily, Franklin, and Gert, and hopefully we don't get too far down the list. But again, regardless, I don't know where the storms are going to go yet. So again, I'll track it very, very carefully for you as things start to pop up. Give you that advanced warning. That's why I do this channel. Now, Belize today could see a couple spotty storms. Now, I've upped the rain chance a little bit in Belize. It's going to be, a lot of us are going to stay dry, I know. But just with a little, it's been so hot, there's a little more moisture around. So a slightly better chance in Belize today of a pop-up storm. I'm not trying to get hopes too high or anything like that. We need the rain, but a slightly better chance today. Jamaica keeping those scattered storms around, a 40% chance today, tomorrow, and again on Friday. St. Kitts and Nevis, where we need the rain again, some nearby now. The rest of today, about a 30-40% chance, 20% chance tomorrow. And as we work our way into Friday, St. Lucia, 20 to 30% chance of a passing shower over the next 3 days. And working our way into Grenada, rain chance down a little bit today, but then it starts to bump up as we work our way into Friday and the weekend, about a 30 to 40% chance at that point. Trinidad and Tobago, 30% chance today, but again, bumping up slightly late week and a little bit more so as we work our way into the weekend, 40% chance tomorrow and again on Friday. So not as wet as earlier this week, but still watching for some areas of rain. And as I mentioned, we'll get another little surge of moisture by the time we get into the weekend as we watch that next tropical wave get closer. That next tropical wave is the first tropical wave, and that's a sign again that the pattern overall is changing. There could be again that spin up of a tropical depression or a tropical storm off the coast of Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas in the United States. And I'm keeping an eye on that air quality. I mentioned that at the beginning of the video. It's still very poor, especially in parts of Guatemala, Mexico, Belize, some low air quality. So again, watching that, I'll keep an eye on that. Honduras as well. And we have that eruption of El Popo. So I talked about that on EarthQC. Search EarthQC on YouTube, and you can get the very latest on that. I put a whole video on that eruption that is ongoing near Mexico City. Could be a big situation. That ash could get way up there in the sky. So again, EarthQC on YouTube. Got that on there. Until I see you again, thank you for joining me. I hope you're doing well and have a good rest of your day.